Well, as usual, our random adventures have brought us into some really difficult terrain. We spent the last half mile crawling, trying to get through stuff. There's Craig up there, leading the way.
9:30 and like 100 degrees.
Yeah, 9:30 and 100 degrees.
Stay on the road.
I think we need to get to the creek, man. This road is not really much of a road.
It does look like it kind of starts to angle down.
It does a little bit. So, let's see if we can get through here. Somebody needs to fall down to make a better video.
I'll hold the camera.
Wait, Milo, stop, stop. Craig just got mobbed by hornets down there. Well, welcome back to Out There. It's about, what, 9:30 in the morning, 9 in the morning. We took some weird, crazy roads to get to a weird, crazy creek. We passed lots of bear poo, and Craig has already been stung 4 times by hornets. So we stopped at this location on the creek because the bedrock looks really good, and we're going to do a couple test pans, then we'll head downstream. There's supposed to be some waterfalls in here, but we're not sure. So keep watching. So if you look, that's up creek right there. It comes down and goes over these boulders and these nice cracks behind it. They look pretty clean though, so maybe somebody's been here and cleaned them out already, or it just might be the flow of the water keeping them clean, which isn't always a good sign. But we're going to try and dig one of these out here and see what's in here. I should have brought my metal detector. I knew I should have brought my metal detector. Yeah, Craig's got a nice root ball right there. Is he pulling up the root ball? You see how it pulled the stuff right out of the cracks? That's sweet. Just set it in the pan and we'll clean it out in the creek. And then we'll just see if there's any gold in it. Yeah, there's a little spot of gold already. One little flake. Another one, yeah. Sheesh. Not big, but that was just one from around root ball. So, not super exciting, but there is gold there, right there, out of just that one little root ball. So we're gonna pull up some more root balls and see if we find anything. Well, we've panned out a couple crevices, and I didn't find anything. They weren't particularly good ones, but I did pan them out. But I've noticed this spot in the creek here that I'm gonna check out for sniping. We can see there's this disruption here. The river kind of cuts through, but there's a deep spot right there at the back of it. So I'm gonna check that real quick. We're really just sampling to kind of see where we're at. Well, we cleaned out some crevices and did some sniping and didn't find anything. Basically, just some fine gold. So we're moving on down. We found this road alongside the river, which is helpful. And it's not too bad. So we're gonna see if we can cover some more ground, get to the waterfall-y section. It's supposed to be anyways. See you in a bit. We stopped and I found this nice little crevice that kind of ran with the creek here. This is the type I like. The best part about these, really, maybe besides the fact that they do well for gold, is that when you fan, the sediment clears faster, so you don't have to wait so long for the sediment to clear out of the way, so you can actually see what you've uncovered. So that's always nice. One of the things here, you can see I tossed my bottle up in the current, and it's pretty strong current, and everything stays still. That's one of the nice things about having that anchor. Now, I found my first little bit of gold here, and it's quite small, so it's not super exciting, but it's nice when you start uncovering gold. You can see there's a chunk of iron there, and just up above it, there's a little bit of gold. But you could see that the bedrock here is very rough, and that tells me that it gets eroded away quickly, and therefore doesn't have a long time to trap gold. So everything I'm looking at here is probably float, or stuff that's yearly or every few years. There's a little better of a piece here, hiding under that little flake of rock. Once again, I'm going to pick this up with the tweezers just so you guys can see what it actually is, but usually I would just snuff this up with a bottle if I was just working. It goes faster that way. And then this is my last piece. It's probably the best piece that I found in this section, but still not very grand. But it is nice to say there's gold here, and we decided to move downstream and look for some harder bedrock. This canyon we're in is really sweet. We've just been cruising down this canyon. It's got all this green, like serpentine rock. Look at that. Looks really slick though. Ah. It's so cool. Yeah, I think we need to cross to that side to get down for this. This slot here. Let's see if we can go down it. Ah, it's kind of slick. Ah, I'm stuck. my hips don't fit across the gap. Well, I might have to stay here.
So cool.
Yeah. After a good bit of exploring, we got downriver and decided to stop and do some more sniping. We started getting into these better crevices, harder material, and harder bedrock and harder packed crevices. I cleaned out this really nice looking one, and I ended up into the bottom of it, and there was only a couple little bits. That was one of the biggest bits right there, and obviously that's not very exciting. But then Craig got into this really nice crevice here, and I kind of worked on it with him because he's fairly new to sniping, so I was helping him out. We just kind of worked it together, and we found a good bit of gold. Probably most of the gold we found on this trip was in this one little crevice. It was actually a fairly good sized crevice, but there's a huge amount of gold and mercury here stuck together. So it's sad to see that in the creek, but anytime you see these spots with a big pile of iron or other heavies, lead in the bottom of the creek, you know you're into an area that is at least collecting larger, heavy material. Or not larger necessarily, but heavier material. So you got to just keep sampling around until you find these pockets. We decided to pick up a bunch of this with the tweezers so you can kind of see what we're getting into, but we could have snuffed up all this in the bottle, of course. We got down to the bottom of the iron here, and this is probably the best piece we had in the corner there. This is probably about a 2.5 gram piece. It was Craig's, and so I didn't get a chance to weigh it. That pretty much ended our sniping for the day.
I mean,
That's a long way down there. That's so cool where it's wrapped in around the canyon there. Jeez, really cool stuff. So we finished another one of our crazy adventures. We're home, we have beer, and we're going to show you guys our gold. So this is my score for the day. There was a lot of mercury in that river.
showing that big one.
So I'll put a picture up there. Yeah, I don't really want to even touch it.
No.
As you can see, this is, oh, can't hold the stupid thing. So you can just see the amount of mercury on here. It's just really gross. So that's probably maybe a little over half a gram, probably. But it's funny because there are some pieces that didn't have mercury at all, and they rolled around my bottle for a while and still don't have mercury. So that's my scores.
There's mine.
There's Milo's over here. There's another big ball of mercury, and he got a nice couple of them without mercury on them too. So, but just big bunch of mercury. You can see all that junk right there. And then Craig got the big boy today. Check that out. Look at how much mercury he got. Just look at that chunk of mercury, but this is the good one right here. This one here is probably a little over a gram.
It's definitely over a gram.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe 1.5 even. It's like pretty heavy.
It's solid. It's not
good
flat.
one.
You're used to see
So,
flat ones, you know.
There's that one that was in your pan, so.
Yep.
Yeah, so cool.
Pretty cool.
Thank you guys for watching, and get out there, find yourself some gold, have some fun.